As we continue our conversation today on the ongoing efforts to build inclusive communities within the classroom, we are thrilled to have author and featured speaker Marisol Rerucha join us here in studio. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
Absolutely. Okay, let's talk about this effort to build inclusive communities within the classrooms. Where do you think things stand today, and what's more progress that we can make?
So I think there's a tremendous call for connection, especially after the global pandemic that we've all experienced. So belonging really isn't just about belonging in a space. It's about the reminder that we belong to each other. And in order to do that, we have to do the work of belonging to ourselves. All of the things that are happening, it's a lack of peace. And I really believe that's because we don't know what that means to really belong to each other.
Do you get the sense that, kids feel disconnected from each other, disconnected from educators, disconnected from, the administrators within the school? It's an isolation almost.
Yes. Our society has sold us some things that we've bought. And one of those things that I think is this beautiful concept of individualism, which is that, like I can pick myself up by my bootstraps, and the things that we've accomplished in our lives are because of us and our effort. When the reality is that there are so many people that have poured into us. I think in education, all levels of leadership need to be willing to enter a space in our humanity. And enter in space without that positional authority or that idea, I'm the teacher, you're the student, or I'm the school leader, you're the teacher, you're the kid, you're the family. No, like we're entering space in our humanity together.
I love that. Let's talk about your book.
Okay.
You've authored a book called Beyond the Surface of Restorative Practices, Building a Culture of Equity, Connection, and Healing. How does your book address the equity problems that today's younger generation still face?
Well, I think first, so the reason why I called it Beyond the Surface is because we are taught that the surface is the place to be. What we talk about in the book is that, so part of the issue is there's this system that creates this ongoing harm, generational harm and inequities that result in academic disparities, the school to prison to early death pipeline, poor mental, physical, emotional health. And there's certain groups of our people that are in generational poverty. And so if school systems and if organizations, nonprofits, corporations really lived to what they said they were, their mission, their beliefs and their vision, then we wouldn't have that, right?
Right.
The book is about starting to be the work and not just talk about the work.
You also talk about trauma-informed care. What do you mean by that? What is that?
So trauma-informed care is the understanding, right, that trauma exists.
Right.
And that all of us as human beings have experienced trauma.
We've been through
carry
something.
trauma with us. Well, and we had the global trauma, right,
Yeah.
that has happened, that has impacted all of us. So being trauma aware is the understanding of that. It also helps us when we have people that come into our system that we get to work with, that have burdens that are more than they can bear.
Yeah.
It can be hard on us as the practitioners. So understanding that we also are impacted by the trauma of others and having a space to work through that and to share it is really critical in the work.
Absolutely. Last thing before I let you go, you also say that we need to build a culture of responsiveness. What's a culture of responsiveness, and why is it so important in the classroom?
Well, and it's not just in the classroom, but like in your schools and in your districts and in our community, which is responding to the needs of our people, which isn't just our students, but also our staff. Like respond to the needs and meet us where we are. The current systems and the way our systems were built were not to respond to it. It's either you either make it or you're...
Or turn a blind eye.
Yeah.
Like, just keep going.
Or you're gone.
Yeah.
Like that's, and that continues to perpetuate that idea that it's okay to throw some people away.
Yeah.
So like that, no more. If we agree that we can't do that anymore, then we have to be able to create that system of response. And I really believe in what I've seen is that when you do things with people, when you ask them and you involve them in identifying the problem and creating the solutions and doing it with them, that's where the magic happens.
Yeah.
That's where healing can happen.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much for your time today. I could keep talking to you for hours, but unfortunately we have a short amount of time. I really do appreciate you taking the time to speak with us.
Thank you.